It's time to dad.
All right. Ready when someone is.
Hey now. Welcome back to Time for Dad.
Time for Dad?
It's when it's time for dads to gather and listen to Time to Dad. They come to this show. This is where dads from all across the country, talk about what it is to be a dad. We share our war stories, and we I think have made this a weird little therapy session that we've done for a while now, right?
It's a bit like a therapy session at times.
We've got
this is my venting safe space.
over a year, like a year and a half or something of this. Like
I think we're like
that's just
15
when I've been involved
episodes
too.
Away from 100.
From
I forget what. I might have just released cheers. 88. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cheers to our resilience. I mean, sometimes we're not here, and sometimes I certainly wasn't here. But it's a fun time that we come and talk about dad topics. But
we're still alive.
Shut the fuck up, Joe. That's true. There were times I wasn't there at the beginning of this show, and there were times in the middle, but here I am. So the topic I wanted to present here, I think, are like, there's two that are in one. So paternity leave in dads, in men. Do you feel like, I'm sure a lot of dads, maybe it depends on the type of job you have, but no matter what it is, like, you're competitive naturally and want to be compensated for what you do. And there's only so many like cushy, nice jobs out there if you want, so you can spend time with your kids. So do you feel like there's, as my camera just like shut off here. So that's fine. Do you feel like pressure that you can't?
He's back.
Am I back?
Yep.
Sorry about that. Do you feel pressure to not take the full 3 months off? I think that's something that dads grapple with a little bit. And then on top of that, there's like this 50-50 dad paradox that I think is a real topic that for me, but when I was younger, and I think even generation further back than that, like, dads didn't spend the same amount or percentage of time even remotely close to with their kids. And now, like, we definitely as a society have moved to a place where we do want to spend that 50%, that 50-50 split, and help our significant others. But at the same time, you need to make money. You don't want to lose your standing at work. So I think both of those are kind of important. Like what's the balance between being focused on your career, but obviously your kids are the priority? I think we're living in a weird place where that goes through all dads' minds.
My company's pretty good about like autonomy, and if Emerson's got something going on, or I want to do something with him and it requires me getting off a little early on a Friday, like, okay, so I stack those 2 hours onto Monday, Wednesday, or Thursday. They're pretty good about kind of letting you flex your time so you don't have to tap into your PTO for a couple hours. I mean, we can use like up to like as little as 30 minutes of PTO, but who the fuck does that? It's just, I think most companies kind of give you that autonomy, and I think COVID kind of lended itself to companies leaning towards the, you work 4 9s and then you take a half day Friday, kind of thing, which is what my wife does. She works in the office Monday through Thursday, then she does a half day at home on Friday, and which works out because Emerson's out of, he doesn't have summer camp on Fridays. So she gets to hang out with him on Friday after she puts in her 4 hours or whatever. So I think I'm pretty fortunate in that aspect. But yeah, I don't know, that's been most companies I've worked for, really. Like, if before we went on vacation, I wanted to get the tires done. So I took an hour and a half and I went to the tire shop, waited for the tires to get mounted, went back to work, and I just put in an extra hour and a half the following day. So I think that's something a little different than our parents had, right? And I know there's been a couple times where Emerson's school has been closed for whatever reason, and we drop the ball and don't ask my mom if she can watch him. So Emerson goes to work with her and they totally don't give a shit. They're like, yeah, I mean, if people in the office don't care, like bring them to fucking work with you. And I don't know if that's a product of like companies just want you to be there and be productive, or if it's a company, really trying to offer a work-life balance solution. And because we talked about it last episode about how, actually, I think I talked about it before that episode got cut off, but I was talking about how, life today seems a lot busier than what I saw from my parents when I was a kid. It just seems more go, 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 more mundane of, go to work, come home, go to bed, go to work, come home, go to bed, and only getting a couple hours with your kid. Yeah. So I don't know what it is, but life just seems more chaotic nowadays. But my company's pretty chill.
I think it definitely is. I mean, a lot for us. Back in the day, it wasn't always two working. So one parent worked, one parent. So now, if two parents are working, it's like, hey, wife's working. I got to take my son to work, and business owners and people need to understand that stuff. You need to, it wasn't one person's getting the kid from school. So yeah, there are times when you might have to leave your job early because the other spouse has to get them. And that just was not the case, my dad was gone from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. City.
But your mom was always there.
My mom was always there she didn't work until we got into middle school.
Yeah.
She was home, and then when we were middle school, and then she was like part-time.
Yeah, that's the that's the traditional, that's the traditional American dream, and now we've gotten to a 50-50 culture because things cost more, but we still have
when daycare costs you more than your friggin' mortgage a month. I mean, what the hell? The hell are you gonna do?
I got two though, but yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, it's different.
I don't know. I don't know how people with multiple kids do it that are like that age where you've got to be in daycare at school. I mean, it's even worse if they're not even in school yet. That's way more expensive than paying for after school or before school type care. I don't know how they make that shit happen. If we had two kids Emerson's age and they weren't in school yet, Jen would have to stay at home, or I would have to stay at home. There would be no sense in both of us working because we'd just be shitting a paycheck away every 2 weeks to childcare. That's why, I've always been. Yeah, that's why, when my mom helping. Oh, sorry, I have a shitty internet connection, I think still. Yeah, but my mom watched Emerson till he got through, till he started preschool, which was, that saved us thousands of dollars. I don't even want to calculate how much money that saved us. But I know not everybody has that situation or can do that. So
I don't know what's enough.
Do you hear that rain?
How much money?
It depends, dude. I see those posts all the time about dads asking what's a realistic going monthly rate for weekly childcare, and I've seen everything from $600-$700 a month all the way up to $3,000-$5,000 depending on where you live. Which is fucking insane. I'll mark that as a place I'll never live. Yeah, for a month. Yeah. So,
yeah,
it's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, but it's with the two of them, it's close to $3,000. Yep, a month. Jesus. For sure. But that's two. But yeah, I mean,
But still, $3,000. That's 36,000 a year. That's like making 50 grand a year. That's a job of 50,000 a year after taxes.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy.
yeah, it's rough.
And that's why I think that's
Feetfinder.com.
Feet Finder. I don't know if my feet will make the cut, but
You try it.
Feet
Try it.
Finder. I could.
I do have some like hope and of I guess dream of dreams where like I do feel like as I progress, I've only done this car thing for a few years, like I've consistently made a little more each time. Like there's a way and a place in time with car sales where my wife wouldn't have to work full time. I could make that kind of money, at least in this area. But it just put a lot of pressure on yourself then, and then you're not, you can't be home. But
Are you interested in management, or is that not Jason's?
yeah, no. I don't like to be managed. I could manage, but I'd rather be a manager than be managed. But I mean that's just something I battle with, like just wanting the freedom to just like leave me alone. I'll sell cars.
No, I get it. My dad carried for the post office for 30 something years, and I mean he was easily could have been management, but he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to have to be that guy hounding people and being an asshole. So I mean, he just grunted it out where he was, and he knew he was better than the position he was in. He just didn't want to. He didn't becoming that management person is not. He just didn't want to do it. So.
Well, because then if things fall on you, and if family's more important, then it's. Some people do that because they don't.
It's not even that. It was more of the relationship my dad had with the guys that he worked with there was more important to him than making a bigger paycheck and having a nicer title, because he didn't. I mean, those guys were like family. I remember when we were kids, he used to go over to their houses and we'd have family cookouts and shit together and stuff like that. I mean, they were like a little family. He was like, nah, I can't see myself having to be, because he knew what the current boss was and what they would have to do to people, and how they had to manage. And he was like, nah, I can't do that. I don't want to be that person. So, but other people, that's their goal, right? They started the bottom of the ladder, and their goal is however high they can climb up that ladder. No matter what the cost. But
yeah, that was like one of the things I hated.
No,
you go ahead.
No, you. No, fucking Verizon's going crazy after the power went out. It's terrible.
But when I worked at Sherwin-Williams back in the day, like if you were not willing to like move out of New York, you weren't going to get many promotions. It was like they wanted you to move out. So like I had a buddy that did it, and he moved up real quick. He's just took head positions. He's like a pretty head honcho at 36 years old, but he's been already in that position. But he had to move to San Diego, then he moved here, then he did that. And, they'd be like, hey, there's an opening. I want you to apply here. He's be like, Oregon? They're like, yeah, you have to apply. Like,
or say Oregon again.
Oregon? Oregon? Is that how it should be?
That's funny to me. Yeah, Oregon is how I would have said it.
Oregon.
Oregon.
That's Oregon, out of here. Get out of here.
Yeah. I mean, Starbucks was the same way. If you kissed some ass and you were willing to relocate and you took on problem stores and management, like you got all the praise in the world. But the second you gave any kind of pushback or got complacent at the store you were at, it's like they just fucking forgot about you. Not to mention that place Starbucks, working at Starbucks will crush your soul as a human being in general.
What was like the turnover rate? Because you were there for a while. Like,
dude, it was fucking ridiculous, man. You had the full gamut of employee types, right? Like you had young kids who had, I don't know what other states are like, but if you're working You can start working at 16, I think it was, but you have to have like a work permit from school, and you're only allowed to work like certain hours before or after school and on weekends. So you had those kind of employees. We had a lot of like starving college kids working there. There was a fair amount of older people that were just like trying to get to retirement or trying to supplement their retirement income.
Okay.
And then you just had like a bunch of random motherfuckers as well that are thrown in there. But the part that was the shittiest was dealing with the people. If you ever want to know just how shitty of a human being people can be, work at Starbucks for a couple months. People are just, customers are just absolute douchebags. On the management side, you're pretty much on call 24/7. If somebody calls out, guess what, Joe? You're coming in to open the fucking store. So that part sucked. So Starbucks has licensed stores and they have corporate stores. The licensed stores are the ones like Target's a licensed store. The Starbucks you see in the airport is a licensed store. The Starbucks in hospitals are licensed stores. And so I was being asked why my store, or basically I was about to be fired because my store saw like a 15% revenue decrease. And my whole argument was, well, there's a massive hospital right here where every employee and person visiting someone would come to this Starbucks, and they opened a licensed store there in the hospital. And so my argument was the majority of that revenue is going to that fucking hospital now because they can go there. So you get held accountable for bullshit stuff like that. You've constantly got people emailing your district manager or regional manager to bitch about how their latte was made wrong, specifically just to get free shit, because Starbucks, I don't know if they still are, but they were a customer is always right company, regardless of whatever the fuck happened and whatever. And people knew that, and they totally took advantage of the system there, and it was just dealing with shit like that. And so I ended up stepping down from management. I was still in college at that point. I was also working part-time with the engineering firm I was, and it finally, I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. And so I went to my manager at the engineering firm and I was like, look, I can't do part-time. I was like, either you bring me on full-time or I'm just going to have to stop working here and find another firm. And so they brought me on full-time, and that led to my whole career path in engineering, because Starbucks was literally just crushing my will as a human being.
That brings up an interesting topic, right? You got a son, right? You have a daughter. What would you want, right? Would you want your kids ever to work at Starbucks because you learned so much? Would you want them to, like, would you want them to have jobs that you had or the job that you're in now?
And I would want them to work there in the capacity of a student trying to make, earn spending money or help keep their student loan down, or like a first job. It's a great company for that.
Okay.
I would not want them going into the management. It's just, it's hire and fire. It's what you were talking about with Sherwin-Williams. Like, basically do what we say when we need you to do it, or we'll find somebody else who can, and we'll just forget about you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And then there's always, it's a publicly traded company, so there's always you're being hounded about numbers. But it was really the customers and managing people there that sucked ass. There really weren't a lot of employees that I would consider like great. Like, like in the engineering world, if you go somewhere else and you've got like a person you work really well with, or that is exceptionally good at their job, a lot of times you'll try to get them to come to your company and bring them over and get them some incentives and shit like that. Starbucks didn't have a lot of people like that. There weren't a lot of people that if I went to a different company and I really liked it there, I would have reached out and been like, "Hey, come work for me over here." It just that's just how it was. It was very it was very transient as far as employment goes. People came and went pretty quickly, and you had some old salty dogs that were awesome, but they were also the most stubborn motherfuckers ever that resist every bit of change.
Well, yeah, because they've been there 30 years. Sherwin had
and
that
Starbucks
too,
is an ever evolving company, so that piece of it sucked ass. But don't get into fucking retail is the moral of the story, dads. It's it can, if you're just a put your head down and do what they tell you kind of person, it can be a lucrative career. But it was just, dude, I could just feel it sucking the damn life out of me. I was like, there has to be something better.
I think that's important, right? Like knowing, right? Because like this is the stuff we never get taught in school, right? Like you're taught, oh yeah, go to school for this, like, and people don't get taught what jobs pay what, right? Yeah. What it's actually like. Like you go to school for
how
business,
to do your taxes.
How to do your taxes, right?
Dude, I am a firm believer that every human being on the planet at some point needs to work in some sort of service industry.
100% agree.
Delis, I mean, my wife used to be a server, so we have a very high respect for servers and wait staff and restaurant staff and things like that. I worked in the food service industry. I think everybody, and I'm not talking about make a career out of it. I'm talking about work it as a summer job. It teaches you a lot of things, I think. Number one thing being respect for the people that do work that job, because there's a ton of people that just shit all over those people all day, every day.
Bonus. The kids aren't home, so who else gets serviced?
That's a different type.
I saw the hamster wheel going. Was that really what you were concocting back there behind the microphone?
I
was waiting for a profound statement.
A couple things could have shot out of my mouth there, but yeah, that's what you get. Yep.
Okay.
But I agree with you, Nick. I do think it's important. I think all kids should do something like that. Like
wait some tables. You know?
I think like for me, like I know like my kids, like I want them to learn trades. Do summer jobs, like, hey, go be a carpenter one summer, go be a mechanic one summer, go do things like that, so you learn how to do all that crap and see if you like something. I think that's important. I mean, I'll obviously teach, but I don't care if he goes into that type of stuff. I think him learning a trade and then maybe wanting to run his own business in a trade, I think it would be more something like that for my kids. I think that's kind of where I would see them.
I think, dude, trades are. I think trades are going to be one of the most lucrative careers 5 to 10 years from now. Mm-hmm. They're losing. I mean, that's what I work in. I work all day with the trades, and we do the blueprints and designs, and they make it come to life. And we see it all day, every day, that the quality of workmanship and skill is quickly dwindling. And there's nobody to step up, and it comes down to a work ethic thing. It comes down to a training thing. It comes down to a personal motivation piece of it. And I mean, you can talk to anybody in the trades right now, and there is just nobody coming through that exemplifies those traits and is going to be able to carry the industry. And if you're looking for a place to excel, the trades are it. If you can learn the trade, you can do it right. You can have self-worth, pride in your work is a major thing right now. I think the trades are going to be extremely, and granted, that comes with trade-offs, right? That comes with overtime, working weekends, depending on who you work through.
Thing too, like plumbers and stuff.
I think that's what scares most people.
Few of them that I think they're going to be working. Yeah, they're going to be working a ton, I feel like.
Yeah, but you're going to be making money hand over fist, and that's the thing. But if you, I don't, I have not seen a technology on the horizon that's going to start building buildings for people. I've seen the little 3D printer that can make the outline of a building out of some synthetic clay cement material, but I've yet to see an AI robot that's going to run conduit in the building or run plumbing in the building and install toilets, run fire protection, all that shit. Those jobs are not easily replaceable by a robot, and the world's ever evolving, so there's always going to be a need for that. And every time I see somebody post something about, get your kids involved in the trade, I always share it. Just because I think the trades, and I don't think you need to stay in the trades either, right? There's different, just because you are an apprentice and you're a journeyman and all that stuff and you become a master plumber doesn't mean you have to be a master plumber forever. There's management positions. You can join a general contracting firm where you're managing projects. So there's, just because you get started in that field doesn't mean you're pigeonholed into installing toilets and running piping the rest of your life. But it is it's an excellent fallback career. It's like riding a bike. Like, obviously you need to keep up with codes and the code's going to change, but you're not going to forget how to do the work. And so if you do leave that career field and decide to go back to school, like I think Brad was talking about, I mean, he left the military and now he's back in school. So it's a good fallback career too. If you go down the line and get a college education and say, "Whoa, fuck, this isn't for me," I think there's always going to be a job for you in the trades.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be a car for them to get to work.
It's not a Subaru.
Car sales too.
It might be.
They might
I don't
need
know.
a truck.
I'm pretty sure the rich just got
if car
richer.
manufacturers would just build cars that last. But that's not very lucrative. So
Jason,
why would we do that?
Jason, would you have your kids? Would you have your kids get in the car sales?
I think I would definitely encourage doing something in person-to-person marketing at a young. Yeah, I think if they can figure out how to tap into human psychology and goods and services and just provide good service, it's the same thing. I mean, I'm absolutely in the service industry, so
Okay.
I just it's a different form. But yeah, if I had done car sales from 18, like some people, Andy Elliott, like a lot of people, just right off the bat, they didn't have any money, they didn't have family, so they just went and started selling cars because somebody was like, "That's the fastest way to make money, man. Just go do that. If you can do that, you make if I had done that, if I had taken that plunge or that chance, but I needed my kid being born to like motivate me to take such a risk or whatever to figure out that I could do that. But yeah, if I had done this job from 18, I might have more money than Joe, and I don't know if that's possible, but
It's all fairy dust, right?
You make me sound like a hoity-toity rich guy.
you make yourself sound like that.
I do nothing else. So I drive a Chevy pickup.
I think of Joe as the average Joe.
Yeah.
I drove Subarus because I got a discount. Now I drive a Chevy pickup truck because I got a discount. Just because I know money doesn't mean.
Yeah, bro's not rolling up to business meetings in a brand new.
He knows
Tesla.
about it. He knows about it more. So he knows about it more than people that have way more of it. So he's like studies the pixie dust.
Just because people have it doesn't mean they save it.
You're covered in it, dude. All like you work with it. You're talking about it all the time. Like you're just pixie dust up. Like
that's Joe's real view behind him.
Like your
his
net worth
is in the Florida Keys.
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
That's it.
That's my little.
Yeah.
And that's my little 8 square feet right there in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I like your decorating. A couple clay pottery vases there. It's very nice.
Yeah. I did that. That was on our honeymoon. We made clay pottery.
Nice.
That was beautiful. Yeah.
Like that scene from Ghost. You get like up on like, that scene where they're making the pottery. They got
I don't know
all
that
sexual.
What
Ghost.
we,
Very sexy.
fuck
Very
movie is
sexy
that?
scene about
I don't even
pottery.
know that movie.
Ghost. Patrick
Never heard of
Swayze.
it.
Mm-mm.
Crazy Swayze.
He's always crazy, but I don't
R.I.P.
know.
R.I.P. Crazy Swayze. Are we talking for real? You guys don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You never seen Ghost?
I don't think I've ever seen
Get
that
out
movie.
of here.
If I've seen it, I don't know what it's called.
Ghost? Is it a kid's movie?
No.
Definitely not if there's a sexy
It's like
pottery scene.
It's Whoopi Goldberg.
Oh well, that's why I
Patrick
didn't see it.
Swayze
Fucking worst
and
actress
Demi
ever.
Moore. And Demi Moore in her prime.
Holy
and
shit!
Patrick.
Did you see my camera
Yeah.
just jolt?
No, I thought you were looking at
that was
Demi Moore.
no, that was from
That time she made
the
that movie.
fucking thunder outside shaking the earth.
Yeah.
That was wild. Sorry.
Swayze.
That's it. That's it. So
Demi
that's how I loop that back together. So.
Corrupt business partner.
Mm,
Yeah, never saw it, never heard of it.
Nope.
okay.
I just Googled it.
Here you go.
Nope. I don't want to see it.
Interesting. Yeah. I don't know if I would have my kids do what I do though. And if they want to, great. They can take over.
You
the
got to
business.
pass the business down, right?
Yeah, I mean, we could pass the business down.
Or
I
sell
don't
it.
know if they would. You could sell it. I could sell it.
Fuck is
We're
that?
gonna have to make a certain certification that this is not kid-friendly episode.
Got pottery. Just skip ahead a little bit here till it gets all cutesy. Look at that. Was that you?
I just called Ghost. He doesn't look like a ghost.
Look at you.
We actually did not do pottery in that.
You're a liar then.
We were
Just
we were
like
making
pottery
jokes
in the
about
back of
his
my
background pottery there.
I've never once done pottery in my entire life.
I've never done pottery
It
either.
sounds pretty
on
cool.
your-
Not ashamed of it.
Footage right here.
That was me and Demi Moore.
You used to be
I
Patrick
used to be,
Swayze.
Yes, in my past life. It was a good time.
Nice.
Good time. That's my
Crazy-
favorite movie.
crazy
My favorite
Swayze.
movie.
I think you guys are messing with me and you pulled.
I have not seen that movie. I don't even know what the fuck that
You
is.
know what movie?
Nah,
When you said joke, what was that movie? Man?
Casper.
No, Hollow Man. Was that it? It was like
That was a good movie.
that was
Where
the first movie I ever saw with boobs in it. I think.
Oh, that was a good movie.
What
I was, I
movie?
think in sixth grade. I think
Hollow
it was
Man.
called Hollow Man. I was in sixth grade, and me and my buddy Pat were at his house, and we rewinded it like 100 times until his mom.
I
started
think
walking
mine.
That's a
was-
great. That's like the dream. That
Mine
movie.
was Braveheart or maybe maybe
in. Yeah,
Titanic.
Braveheart.
I don't remember.
There's boobs in Titanic.
Oh yeah.
Bro, pay me
Titanic
like one
was
of your
my
French
first
girls.
boob.
Come on.
Titanic was my first.
Yeah.
The like
on
opening
camera.
scene is the painting of her all naked on the
Opening
fancy
scene.
sofa.
That's
in
like
the
an
room.
hour and a half in. The movie's like 4
Whatever.
hours
It's when the
long.
fucking old lady gets on the ship and they're cleaning off the shit they found in her safe.
Yep.
It's at the
That
beginning.
bitch. That
Literally
bitch
just
threw-
watched it the other day.
That bitch just
The whole movie?
tosses
Yeah,
that.
she threw, like,
fucking-
Like
Rock.
$5 million into the ocean.
She's an
Like,
idiot.
bye, Felicia. She
Like,
gave
yeah,
no
here.
fucks.
She wasn't going to come off with it anyway, right?
She had
Huh?
it the whole time.
Yeah. She brought it off the ship with her.
Okay.
She brought it home.
The
Spoiler.
one that survived.
Spoiler, all those people that haven't seen Titanic. I bet you haven't seen Ghost either. Ha ha ha. Yeah, big joke. Fucking guys.
Nobody's
I
watching.
want to
that.
watch Hollow Man. I want to watch Hollow Man now.
Hollow Man is the dream to be invisible, but he took it too far, So,
Yeah.
but to
Too
be
far.
invisible and do it right, That's the dream.
That's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool job. Pretty cool life.
It's not a job. That's just life. You just
You
do
Make
whatever
it a
you
job.
want. Dude,
Make
you
it a
could
job.
literally be invisible, man, and sleep anywhere you want, like any night. Like, I just want to like hang out in some fucking like castle, villa, whatever. You're fucking invisible. You just wait till someone opens the door, and then you go in there, and you're just go like you just chilling. Like you're just in like, and if there's nobody else in these rooms, these big rich people's houses and stuff, like I could go anywhere all the time. I'm not setting off alarms. I'm invisible. That's the dream.
But you can't touch anything.
Sure, I can. There's nobody there.
You have fingerprints, though, dude. Leave fingerprints.
No, I'm invisible.
But how can you touch
Who
it?
cares if I have fingerprints? Who cares if I have fingerprints? I mean, I guess they're gonna find me, but
I'll find
I'm
you.
I'm invisible. I'm never taking my invisibility off.
I don't
You'll
know.
never find me. That's the thing. Like, I'll go to another country and I'll just chill in their house. Like, I'll just be that story about the stuff that gets moved around and the fingerprints, the invisible guy. Nobody would believe them, the authorities, so they're not going to charge me.
Yeah.
So you want us to spend money
So they record you on their Nest
'cause it-
cam.
because this guy
Mhm.
guy says that an invisible person moved around all his and drank a bunch of booze and smoked all his weed. Like, no, that's not gonna happen. Like that's cuckoo. That nobody's
That
gonna
might
believe
happen.
that. I'm just gonna keep doing my invisible thing every night wherever I want. I get on any plane. I mean, you
Where-
kind of
Where would you go first?
Mm.
If you can go anywhere and be invisible, where would you go first?
Mm. Well, I mean, if I say an all girls college, is that at least like age appropriate for the show? But no, I mean, I think I would just go. I would definitely just. Oh, there's a room at a resort in Disney we went to. Like I would start out suites, like all these suites that people don't even have like take most nights of because they're so crazy expensive, like $100,000 a night to stay in these crazy hotels. I would just be like,
But like you can't
seeking
get
those
the room,
out.
you can't get the room service. You can't get any of that stuff. So you're just sleeping in a bed with a nice room.
Yeah, I am, and I'm fucking eating or doing whatever. You don't think there's food and shit in there? Who are they
There is,
gonna
but
blame?
you
It is a
gotta pick up a
ghost.
chicken leg and then you just
I'm
Yeah, it
gonna
just
make-
falls to the
consistently
floor when
make
you take a
a
bite of
fucking
it.
mess.
Like what?
I can eat it, and then yeah. I think once it
I
becomes
think you're
part of me,
overestimating
if
the
I
power of a
understood-
ghost.
No.
I think
I'm
it'd be
not
a
a ghost.
sad,
I'm Hollow
lonely
Man. Do
life.
you remember in
Yeah,
Hollow
Hollow Man.
Man, he was
Hollow Man
you
is
could
not
feel him.
real. That's not
He was
real
banging
ghost.
chicks.
Not
He
real
was
ghost.
banging 5-pound rocks.
That's
He was
fake.
banging chicks and stuff.
Fake ghost.
I don't remember that too much. I just remember that one scene. I gotta watch it.
Dude,
Yeah.
he banged a chick with the invisibility thing on. That was the whole that was the scene.
Invisibility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was young. I might not know what was going on in that
No,
scene.
you were doing this in the movie theater. That's what I was doing during Braveheart. My dad was like, cover your eyes. It's like, okay. Let's do
Braveheart's
this.
a great movie.
Peeking through. All right, I'm wrapping us up.
What?
Any closing
All right,
arguments?
There you go. I was just gonna say, what age would you let your kids watch movies like that with boobs?
Boobs.
Well, what is it?
My
tasteful?
son
boobs
wanted to
or-
watch Titanic the other night, so we did.
Look at those graphics.
That's top notch.
Crazy Swayze. Send me more. All right, go proceed. Sorry.
That's all I got. At what
This episode's
age?
brought
I
to
don't
you
know.
by Ghost.
My son wanted to watch Titanic the other night for some reason. I don't know if it's because of the cruise ship or what, but he was all interested in it, so he wanted to watch it. So Jen and I were constantly like pausing fucking Netflix and trying to fast forward and shit. That is a good thing. You don't You can pause it and like just skip it nowadays. You can't. Back in the day, you couldn't do that. Even if you fast forward,
That's
it's
true.
like
Yeah,
still
yeah.
on the screen, all scribbly. But
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with it? Like, I mean, I guess it's sexualized, but yeah, they're probably not gonna. I don't want them really seeing it until. Like, do we put an age on this? Like 15, maybe younger, right? Because we were probably 13, probably like 12. So Titanic would have been 10. It's a little, probably like 12, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Middle school.
they're gonna
11.
see us anyway. They're gonna hide it. It doesn't really matter.
They're gonna, the people get naked. Happens.
Part of life.
It's a part of life to be naked. We actually
How we all started.
we make it weird and put the fucking clothes on. We've made it taboo to just be naked, which was probably on some level where we started.
My kids run around the backyard naked all the time, and they has no care at all.
My son dropped trout and was peeing in the ocean, and my wife's like, "Don't!" Like she's fucking yelling at him, and I was like, "Nobody gives a shit." Like there's no strangers around, like recording him just pissing the like. Who cares? She did not live the life I lived, where when you had to go to the bathroom, they were like, "Oh, yeah, just go find a tree over there in the yard and let it rip." But different times, I guess.
Yeah. Good times.
Like, who's calling the cops because your kid had to go to the bathroom in the middle of fucking nowhere on the beach? Nobody.
No.
Nobody. Jason.
No?
Jason's not.
I think we've made progress here in this episode. I think we didn't solve world hunger, but
no, we figured out.
I don't know what you did, but I did.
Trout in the ocean. They will see boobs at some point before we know it. And
get about half a G, and just run around. And
they're not going to be doing any little toots.
I'll do a little toot. Just, for fun, every now and then. And I'll tell you what, though, about that drink, I won't drink any tequila. Now, I might have a drink, but I won't drink tequila because last time I drank that tequila, I got wild on that stuff, and I beat up Sally, hit Sally, broke a car window out, and I won't do that anymore. But, that and freebase, and I will not freebase cocaine anymore. Now, I'll have a drink. I'll have a drink, and I'll smoke. I'll go through about a half ounce a week of reefer. I like to smoke reefer, and that's something I enjoy doing. But the freebase I don't do, but I'll do a little toot. I'll do some.
Sorry.
All right. I'm going to bed.
all right, fellas.
Hey, guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hope you had a good time. It was an interesting episode with the power outages and the thunder that shook my whole friggin' camera setup here. But thanks for hanging out with us. Like and subscribe. Come chat with us in the Facebook group, and we'll catch you on the next episode.